Hey Leo, it's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2022. Sorry, I had a little reconstruction to handle there. Though this is the season of the baby and it is cardinal fire, it feels very mature for you especially. I do feel like one of the big things that came through was physical fitness. Regardless of if you're into your physical fitness, let's say you are heavily into your physical fitness, it's time to take something to the next level. Something like ramp something up. If you are not into physical fitness is going to be an ally for you, especially this season. There is something about harnessing your physical energy, moving your physical energy, like siphoning it needs to be in motion. It is a circuit. You creating that circuit is really important. So I feel like what better season than to, what better season, what better time? Kick off the new year with a really new you. And some new habits. And some habits that are really, healthy. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. They get everything when the season drops at 0 degrees. And YouTube and everything else gets stuff at 15 degrees halfway through the season. So it's worth it. For daily content, check out my Instagram, justj_everything, TikTok, justj, at justjeverything. These things are like the home front. What's going on, Leo? The set is falling apart. Maybe the setting of something, some sort of story you're telling is falling apart. Maybe there are home repairs or home improvements that are really needed. I feel like you're going to have to figure something out, come up with a different plan, or you're relying on different people or doing different things in order to improve your home. Hydration is really important, so hydrate, light it if you got it. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. So welcome to 2022, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On March 20th, Aries gets the Sun. They get your ruler, and your ruler is exalted in Aries. So this season can really catapult you forward, or it can burn you up to ash. Whatever you want to do with it, it's your world, baby. And either way, you got the firepower to do what you need to do. You've got the divine support. Whatever direction you harness it into, it's going to expand that. So if you expand it in negative areas, or you use this firepower for things or activities or people or encounters that don't necessarily align with where you're going, then that's the thing. Abundance is not the same as prosperity. Abundance is not synonymous with prosperity. You can have an abundance of bullshit, just like you can have a bunch of, positive abundance. It's really up to you. And so you choose how to use this extra firepower. I feel like it's not so sensitive and you're not so soft emotionally this season, and you're really embodying the assertion and the authoritative aspects of Aries, and that's really important for you. I feel like good for you, and however you get to harness that, but I feel like assertion and authority are important. And assertion is not the same as aggression. So I feel like there's something about the fine line, riding the fine lines of things. So that's going to manifest differently for all of you. Either way, I do feel like you get to encounter a new and a different level or like fabric of authenticity within you. On April 1st, you get the new moon in Aries, and you really get to plant new seeds of this new version of you, and allowing yourself to get like really, like a word, like catapulted into whatever it is that you want to build. So Four of Swords, just flipped over, peeked out at me, and so I do feel like it's important for you to really get clear, or get clear in the spirit about what it is that you want to do. Allow yourself to rest more. I do feel like there is this like balance between taking really good care of your body versus like being tempted to like go out and wild out and be free and eat everything and then regret it and then work out and then eat everything, you know. So there could be this like cycle. Your eating habits, I feel like, are a thing that's coming up, and that's going to resonate for every one of you differently. But I feel like just evaluate your eating habits and making sure that you know, your input matches your output. On April 2nd, the Sun and Mercury will be conjunct in Aries, meaning that they will meet at the same degree. And this is a great week to be social, to talk about new ideas with people who have skills that could help you create said ideas. So I feel like also not a great time to just be talking about, you know, I feel like this is a great week, I'll say this, to say less and observe more. Really let yourself like pay attention to those around you. Are they contributing to, are they contributing to, and do they align with who you are now, who you're trying to be now? Now on April 16th, we have the full moon in Libra, and that's really going to be helping you balance whatever is needing to move forward in your love life, in your relational life, and how you commune with people. I'm going to do a separate video, of course, on the new moon and the full moon, so there is that. But I feel like a big thing is for you guys to remember is on April 18th, the Sun, which is going to be in Aries, is going to be squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And this is very much so like clash energy, arm wrestling energy, what you know about yourself to be true and who you're becoming, really arm wrestling ordeals and these transformations going on in your public life or in your reputation or in your career. Some of you may be really thinking about switching careers or thinking about like adding something to your repertoire in some sort of way. But I do feel like things could be really exposed or coming to light. And it's really, really important that you don't sneak or you don't lie or that you don't, like, omission is betrayal. Just be careful of what's going on with your integrity, because it's really important. I feel like specifically in this season, you are kicking off a new karmic season. This is divine masculine season. And it's just a time to act right. Like, what's done in the dark will be coming to light. It feels like a very karmic time for you guys. And I feel like it's important to pay attention to your intentions and your motivations, and to pay attention to making sure that your reasoning for things are that you're being upfront, and that you honor when you feel like people aren't being upfront with you. So, excuse me, although the seasons are changing. Hydrate. Because we are welcoming in messages. Emperor keeps flashing at me. And that's Aries. We are welcoming in messages from our divine and benevolent ancestors. welcoming in messages from Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, asking for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2022. Leo, there is something about like elevation or leveling up or really Five of Pentacles. I don't think it was reversed, but I'll just keep it upright. I picked it up funny. Five of Pentacles, and it's funny, like this is the card of like possibly dealing with abandonment. Definitely things going on with the home. Maybe you're wanting to move. Maybe you're feeling left out in some sort of way. Some of you are maybe wanting to quit a job. Maybe some of you are are afraid of getting fired, or maybe that does happen and there is some sort of like early termination or some sort of situation where I do feel like Aries season is really going, the first thing out to be clarified on the Selenite throne is how you handle conflict in the 3D. There may be some conflict in regards to money. Money may be tight. You may be really seeing the error of your ways in regards to spending habits. I feel like it's important. Maybe some of you are like helping a lot of other people and it's putting you in a position where now you are depleted, or you are tired, or you don't have what maybe you're needing because you have really like taken the brunt of the storm for someone else. Some of you, I feel like your trauma bonds are going to be really highlighted. Some of you have very different moral or religious or like spiritual beliefs, like very different belief systems than other people, or that people that are maybe like the devil reversed. And then the Six of Cups reversed. So yeah, maybe some of you are, I just heard the end of a soul contract. Maybe some of you are, there could be some sort of breaking up. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. Leo, I love you, but this you come out of the gate, I feel like coming out of Pisces season, really shaking off, or coming into Aries season, still shaking off a lot of heaviness from Pisces season. But this looks like with Devil reverse, this is beautiful. This is freedom. This is liberation. And I do feel like some of you are breaking free of the trauma bonds. Maybe breaking free from somebody with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Aquarius placements. Maybe somebody that you felt bound to, tied to. But all three of these cards have pairs in them. And so I do feel like there are big shifts in that full moon in Libra. I feel like we're going to learn some big lessons about me versus we, and how to acquire a healthier me so that you can have a healthier we. You know what I mean? Like there is something about, there are big shifts here. Some of you are going through breakups. Some of you are leaving jobs that you've been at a long time. Some of you are leaving your church or leaving your family. Maybe some of you are moving away. But Six of Cups reversed at the center of the reading says that emotional harmony is really, whatever shadow it is that you're going through, whatever hardship you're facing, if money is tight, if you are it's like if you get let go, or if you are thinking about just dreaming up your future, dreaming up your freedom, I feel like whatever kind of restriction that has been felt, you get free of that. And some of you, it's like you've been being pushed out of this relationship, or pushed out of this job, or pushed out of this career, or something of that nature, or you feel like you may be getting called into something else, or something isn't working and you may have not been taking the signals. And I feel like the divine's coming in and is like, all right, I guess, I'll just handle this for you. And so I do feel like for some of you, this, whatever conflict or ending may come up, It may feel kind of abrupt, but it very much so is happening in your favor. I feel like this shadow, that period that you're entering into or have experienced or are recovering from, is very much so laced with lessons that you are needing about how to get into a place of actually like being able to receive. It's like you can't get what you really want. It's like you'll never be satisfied until you really like take the chains off or break free. Never being satisfied until you acknowledge maybe what's going on with the kids, or until you acknowledge what's going on with maybe there's an inequality or an imbalance, or you maybe you don't feel like you're getting what you're giving in some sort of way. And I do feel like there is this emotional harmony that needs to be restored, but in order for it to be restored, these old emotional cups need to spill. So there could be some arguing, there could be some space that's needed. The Hermit just came out, and so I do feel like High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. I feel like both parties are in need of some alone time. Both parties are in need of space. All of the cards are paired until the Hermit, and I feel like until it's like go to your corners. That's how it feels like. Some of you, like whatever you're fighting for, whatever you're arguing about, it's important to like know how to fight fair and know how to give space when is needed, knowing when not to push, knowing when to pull back. Notice I'm not saying surrender, but I do feel like there is something about allowing yourself the time away from the crowd so that you can really figure out, is what you're doing fair? I feel like you're walking the fine line between like fair and being taken advantage of in some sort of way, it feels like. This is going to be a juicy plunge. And don't worry, I'm working on getting the plunges sold individually, so you guys can just buy what the Sun, Moon, and Rising if you don't want to do the full $8 a month for Patreon. But it is always worth it. There's so much more than just the monthly readings over there. But final card, final message. Let's get it out for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Look at this. I can feel the sun rising on my face. I can tell you this period of shadow. Look at that, how that just happened. The whole room just changed. You may need a little bit of alone time so that the sun can come in. There's just because it's Aries season, and yeah, it's welcome to 2022, and it's this new season, and it's cardinal fire. But that's the thing about cardinal fire. It's going to burn the fuck up any kind of impurities that are still lingering. And so what that may look like is the things that haven't been spoken, or the things that are being swept under the rug in your relationship, or in regards to your clientele, or in regards to your habits, in regards to your connection to your power. Some of you are not being sexually satisfied. Some of you are finding, like, it's like you're getting your satisfaction elsewhere. Some of you are like trying not to cheat. Some of you are beating temptation. Some of you are being tempted, but you're trying to, there could be a theme of temptation coming in. Some of you are maybe getting free from temptation, free from addiction. But I do feel like whatever shadow period that you're going through, just like the sun just reminded, that's your ruling planet. The sun just came through to let you know, it's like, you're going to make it through. And not only will you make it through, but things will be revealed to you. Warmth will be given to you. Support will be given to you. Don't be afraid to go it alone. Don't be afraid. Look, I just saw your cards. Strength and the Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands. I'm not keeping the Queen of Cups out, but I'm making it as the bottom of the deck. Last card out. What I say, the sun comes out. Don't be afraid. You show up strong, especially the closer we get to Taurus season. I feel like all of what's going on is you're being asked to really look at the impurities, to look at the things that you consider weaknesses, to look at all of the really heavy lessons that or the really heavy experiences that you've gone through, so that you can extract the nuggets of wisdom, and so that you can pour out. And I feel like some of you have just like, you're on the precipice of learning some really profound lessons, but it's just going to require you to really like pour out. And some of you have to face some stuff that happened in your childhood. Some of you have to face something that happened maybe with this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Some of you are having to like face these old cycles, face these old wounds again because because like your behavior hasn't changed. It's like you may have learned the lessons, but the lessons haven't been integrated enough into like you changing your surroundings, haven't been integrated enough so that you can really start to it's like healing from the inside out versus the outside in. That's how it feels. From the inside out. Some of y'all are going from a place of like really seeking validation externally into that not working so much that it forces you to go inward. And some of you, I feel like, are in a place where you just aren't appreciative of the people that you're around. Maybe you're just really wanting more alone space or alone time. I mean, like, you're appreciative of those around you, but you just may be easily agitated. There could be definitely some shifts going on in the money sector that is impacting your mood and impacting your desire to be sociable. Some of you are really like needing to go inward so that you can look at, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Strength coming out. Both cards, the devil and strength, are both about vitality as well. So I do feel like taking care of your heart health, taking care of your physical body, really, really looking at, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of the dark? Well, if you are, I'm sorry to say, baby, but you're going to really have to like wade through it. It's just your shadow. It's time to get familiar with your shadow. It's time to get acquainted with its desires, its needs, the form that it takes inside of you. And your shadow is just this raw, uncut version of you that doesn't give a fuck about social norms and doesn't give a fuck about trends, doesn't give a fuck about being politically correct, doesn't, does your shadow like to antagonize people? Does your shadow like to stir the pot? Does your shadow like to make fun of things or make fun of people? Does your shadow, does it keep you isolated? Is your shadow asking you to look at and deal with your inner child? Are you aware of the multiple facets of your soul? And I feel like saying this, so I don't know why, but I'm going to start doing a series on the 5 aspects of the soul. And it's the higher self, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the inner child, and the shadow. And it's important for you to know what form all of those take within you so that you can better acquaint yourself with the internal chatter that's going on and really get yourself out of these places of uncertainty. You can start making right decisions quickly. You can really start allowing yourself to break free of things that feel toxic or things that feel like attachments. Some of you may be in a place where you're working through a phase of attachment or working through reconnecting versus being attached. And I feel like some alone time or some space is needed, and we're going to clarify that in the plunge. But I do feel like some of you, if you're thinking about quitting your job, I feel like it's important to have a plan. If you feel like you're getting ready to get fired, go ahead and have a plan. Allow yourself to do what you can to save money in this Aries season. I feel like saving is really important, and saving yourself, not playing hero for everyone else, not pouring from an empty cup. You may come into Aries season where it's a season where it's supposed to be highlighted on you. The spotlight is absolutely on you, and you get to really see what you do and don't like about yourself anymore, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is and isn't working, what connections aren't working, what addictions aren't working for you anymore, what behavior, what habits aren't working for you anymore. It's time to, what jobs aren't working, what kinds of jobs aren't working, what types of physical activity aren't stimulating anymore, what's going on with your friend group. What are you bound to these people? Is it reciprocal? Is it feeling mutual? Are you experiencing reciprocity? Are you experiencing mutuality? And it's time to really understand that you're not going to be able to run from any of these answers to those questions. You're not going to be able to run from any of the truths that are coming in, especially at the end of April. That Sun Pluto square is going to expose a lot of heaviness. And it's going to put you in a position where you want to take your L's in the dark. You want to take your L's in private. You know what I mean? And it's advised to. Like every lion, go lick your wounds on your own by yourself. And that's where you learn your lessons. While you're sitting there licking your wounds and you're sitting there stitching yourself up, you can have that internal conversation with yourself. And that internal conversation doesn't have to be from a place of conflict anymore. I feel like some of you have been going really back and forth about something, and the divine moves your hand. You don't have to make a decision. It gets made for you. And I do feel like a lot of you have been getting hunches about what's going on financially, and I do feel like you need to make moves before the move is made for you. And you can only make the move until you can't be honest about what move you want to make, what kind of freedom you want to provide yourself, or you want the divine to provide for you, until you really honor what's not working, what services I don't want to rely on anymore. Do you have unemployment to rely on? Do you want to do unemployment? Do you want to avoid that? Do you need government assistance? Do you need don't be prideful enough to deny help? I feel like it's really important to do what you got to do in order to get what you really want. And I feel like what you really, really want is to get from a place of feeling so much separation. I feel like you want more connection. I feel like you want more better quality friends. You just may not they just may not be where you're looking. I feel like you may have to definitely branch out and be willing to experience this new chapter. It's almost branch out and experience a new chapter of alone time, a new chapter of quality alone time, so that you can start attracting a different caliber of person, so that you can start attracting a different caliber of friend or a different caliber of lover. But I feel like you come into a place of once you really start to allow yourself to dive deeper into your intuition and deeper into your spiritual side, however that is for you, whatever that is. Spirit can be you going on fucking diving into nature, you know what I mean? Whatever the God of your understanding is, you don't necessarily even need a God. You can be your God. It's just important that you figure out what the fuck you actually believe in, so you can start to embody it. You've got to because I just feel like what was working for you before is not working anymore. I love you, but that's just how that feels. And so Queen of Cups and Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck, I do feel like there is an end of a chapter of how you've exerted your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. There may be an end of a passion, or end of a chapter, or end of a phase of a relationship with someone with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, possibly someone else with the Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. Also maybe providing insight, or there just may be big shifts coming by way of them. But I also feel like you are in a place of seeing life through a different lens. But there is something about really honoring the conflict, honoring, it's like looking at these couples, looking at the pairings, looking at the company that you keep. No longer being afraid to look at your demons, to look at your attachment style, to look at the way that you love, the way that you, what is the legacy that you're leaving? What's the mark that you're leaving on this world? Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with how things are going? What can you do better? You're allowed to want to ask yourself that question. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your trajectory. You're allowed to change the crew that you hang out with. You're allowed to like do different things. And I'm not sure if you're looking for permission or why it's a matter of saying you're allowed. But with the devil reversed here, I do feel like there is something about like you can see clearly now that the mental fog is gone, or maybe the weed smoke is gone, or that the, you know, whatever haze has been there, or whatever hold has been on you, whoever has had this hold on you, I feel like you can really break free and see life through a lens of like not having to struggle so more. I feel like also, struggle so much. I also feel like it's going to be hard for you to attract money while you also talk shit about it. And so it is like important to make sure like your relationship to money shifts, or maybe that could be a thing. Maybe being envious could be a thing. Maybe there could be conversations that you're having or opinions that you're forming from a place of like feeling like you're in lack, or like feeling envious of something or someone. There's a lot to unpack here, and I just feel like ultimately a lot of your answers are going to not be found in other people. Things get better once you get comfortable. Like, can you sit in the dark? Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of time by yourself? You know, like, is silence uncomfortable for you? There is something about really taking the time to tend to your home. Do some spring cleaning. Do some spring cleaning emotionally. Do some spring cleaning of the soul. Maybe there's some wounds in regards to fatherhood, your father, your childhood, interacting with children. Do you secretly want kids? Do you want someone that wants kids? Are you thinking about like your legacy? That could be a thing also. There may be somebody with Virgo or Gemini placements, Virgo, Gemini, or Leo placements that comes into your life, and I feel like really helps you see your spark or helps you value your time in a different way. I feel like alone time, quality alone time, so that you can really refine a process or refine a business or refine a dream, or refine your love life. There is something about like, it's like time to look at the policies and procedures, time to look at like the way things are done, in order for you to really get back to yourself. I feel like there is this taking time for you, getting away from all of these people. There just feels like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and you may really notice that in Aries season, and you may really be asked to release some of those connections during the full moon in Libra. That full moon on April 16th. full moon in Libra on April 16th. I do feel like you're going to really be forced to evaluate some of this stuff. So let's get into it, Leo. I love you. Join us in the plunge. Either way, you got this. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.